Howdy, howdy, everybody out there in YouTube land. Welcome back. We are set up here today with a live. I'm just waiting. Waiting? No, I'm checking some new features. We're just hanging out, and I really. What are we doing here? That's the live right there. Streaming software. Okay, just making sure that everything is set up the way it should be. We're gonna do a hangout. We're gonna just share some things. Let's see here. Now, apparently, there's some new features that I wanted to give a try to. Okay, so apparently there's a. Is this it? Okay, so there's. We're looking at. I don't know if they've done it yet, but they said that there's going to be something for uh, super thanks. I just want to, I just try to make sure, and the best way to learn is just to hop on and see what's going on. So I have insert ad and delay ad buttons. But yeah, that's interesting. So I am using my phone today for my camera because my other camera wasn't working. So that means that one of the tricks that I wanted to perform live, I won't be able to because I'm not able to use my phone. And let's see, my videos and dashboard. View my channel. I don't know why I'm taking so long today to figure out where my live is. There it is. Okay. Make sure that we're muted. One person watching. Yay! Like the video, subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And got that. So I can see the comments. Just wondering about this super thanks thing. Maybe it's on vertical lives. That's a possibility. Yeah. Okay, and it does appear that I do have 2 people watching, so I will drop this. I do have a giveaway happening on the channel right now of 12 playing cards. Yes, it's a whole brick box of playing cards, non-international. Uh, all you got to do is comment on the video. It's a couple videos ago. $8.42. We need at least 12 participants in order to send out this brick box. And once I have the conclusion of that, once I have enough people, I'm going to do a celebration live where I'm going to be live. And I'll give that away, but then I'll also announce my November giveaway that I have coming up. That way we can really get the ball rolling. And we're practicing with, some coin work. And on that live, I potentially will be giving away more stuff depending on how many people we have. Just out there, transparency and all that. For every 10 people we have on that live, I will give away a deck of cards. So, yeah, fun times. Anyway, we're playing around with some tech today. So if you have any questions about my setup and about Magic, we'll chat, we'll hang out, and we just want to make sure that we stay fresh with our skills and that we're practicing. So one of the things that I notice in my everyday life is, I work and work and work, and then I'll do videos, but then I'll forget about the Magic. And that's unfortunate, right? So let's see if we can perform some magic for you right here. But let's see. There's a little bit of a discrepancy on my. Oh, that's not going to work. It's not the right thing. Move this over. Okay. Now I think we've cleaned it up a little bit. But yeah, so it'll look something like this. I do want to introduce. I've kind of changed my opener a little bit, and thank you to Alexander the Magician recently on. Not only for that, but he was just recently on Doug Kahn's. He was doing Learn Sleight of Hand, the Jam, and all that. And so I've already been practicing the coin work extensively. Part of that was because of a release that I got from Copeland Coins that I had been waiting to get, and because of the announcement that they were closing, I was like, yeah, I'm getting it now. I'm not going to wait any longer. So I do have that, which will be a giveaway. If it gets here before the live, I'll give it away on the live too. So that'll be a little surprise from Copeland's. It's very specific, so I do apologize for that. They have limited supplies. So really, what I wanted was the download, but there was a product that came with it, and I'll send that out to I'll use it for a giveaway, and so that'll be fun. So in terms of what we've been practicing is a little bit of coin magic, and the way that we want to practice intentionally for that coin magic is we want to practice in such a way that it becomes real, right? So let's say you have the ring here, and you take that ring and you turn it into a coin. Yeah, this is very wonky. So there it is. Now back into the ring, of course. Now if you take this ring and you simply cover it up, it becomes a coin. Haha. Now these are just things that we're practicing with. It's all fine and dandy. We take this and we do a nice little coin roll. And then we show it here. And then of course it becomes the ring again. Now if you're not careful, that coin will come out of the ring. You don't want it to just show up out of nowhere. That's not really what you want. just kind of riffing at this point, which is something I'll talk about here as soon as I'm done with the sequence. So now I've got the ring and I've got the coin out and available. So that's kind of where I want to go with my new setup. Is I've wanted this for a while, but it's kind of like a culmination of a couple of different things. Watching Alexander's great inspiration, the coin stuff that I've already followed, but also it's just something from Craig Petty that really just stuck with me. Is if you're gonna make a coin vanish, make it vanish. And so I kind of took that back from a back step, like billiard balls. The presentation for billiard balls is that you walk out with nothing in your hands, and then you simply produce the billiard ball, the first one, and then you go through the whole routine with producing the billiard ball. So same thing with coins. I'm like, why am I starting with I have a coin? No. See, that's not enough for me. I want to start with the ring because that's what I love the ring thing and all that. So I do a lot of stuff with the ring so I can really just make some magic happen. And then I do this really interesting thing with the shuttle pass where I pass it over to here. Some of these things I just kind of naturally did. And so I have to find the names for them. So if anybody knows them, just post them, and then that way I can credit them. Because some of the things I do, I don't even know where I'm getting it from. Same thing here, coming across, and there's really not much going on there. Back over to here, it's the ring, and that's just kind of practicing a loop move to go back and forth. So, instance, if I take that ring and make it a coin again, that'll happen. I also like, you got to catch the light and all that. That's some pretty good stuff. Now, this is the ending sequence that I'm going with right now, which is making the ring reappear and then making the coin come out of the ring so that I could go into my next sequence, which is something I recently learned from Pig Cake, which is you put the coin into the hand and then you simply make them switch places. Now here's another thing that I've learned just from doing this next move is that for the ending of this, as you put it into your hand, I like to reset, something like that. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I just did a video on this and just practicing until I get it to the point where, building a trick, right? This is the hangout, but I do have segments that I'll do where I talk about the progression of building a trick. And so for this particular trick, it's production of a coin. It's penetration of a coin, spellbound, and then vanishing at the end of all the coin with a coin. So, it's I find it fascinating, and it's something that I could, where I have it right now, it doesn't loop the way that I would like it to, but it's not a hard reset. It's just pocket management. So something to consider when you're going through that. Now, here's what I want to talk about briefly, and this is something because I have the opportunity to perform, for individuals on a regular basis, and so I get in these little mindsets of what am I carrying and what am I performing, and so the trick that I just uploaded earlier was an ambitious card trick that I riffed, if you want to call it that, improv. I kind of did it just on the fly because I have enough card material that I don't really need to think about it. I can just perform card magic to a certain level, and I have so many things to pull from that depending on how I'm feeling that day, I will go about doing that. Now it looks like I am having some internet issues, so we might have to cut back a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on. Let's go with we're going to go ahead and cut off the droid cam real quick. Deactivate that. Microphone setup. We have we have everything. I do want to do some gaming. I've got some games. I want to play some games, but cards, right? So just walking you through this, we're not using the phone anymore. So we'll ignore that for now. But I've got the microphone hanging here. I could potentially move it out of frame, but I want you guys to be aware of the fact that I do have the microphone. And I do have buttons that I forget to push. Things like that. So we're going to walk through this real quick and just have some fun with it. In the meantime, we're going to jump back over to make sure we can see the comments. But anyway, we're going to try to keep our hands up high enough so that you can see what we're doing. So having a card selected, as we walk through this trick, I do want to talk about this idea. Picking a card in the old-fashioned way can be considered boring at this point. So simply picking a card out of the middle like that, it adds a little bit of cardistry to what you're doing, and it's just real nice. And I love this slide move. It looks stunning, especially with these cards, and you can pivot so well with it, and you can get that card just snugged right in there. Now, I do want to make sure that I am in frame for all of that. So the card is back in there. You can take your time with this next part, but either way, you got to get to the meat and potatoes of it, which is the card has jumped back to the top. Now, for the next phase, I like to conversate a little bit, okay? And we go into a beautiful move where the first time we just kind of, we did something instantaneous, right? It's a nice little opener, okay? This time what we want to do is we want to give the impression that things are really getting a little out of hand, right? Like that. So when you do the magic gesture and the snap, you'll actually have fixed all of the cards. Now, this is something that I've been working on a lot recently. So when I got to this point and I was taking the card out, showing it and moving it back to the, I was like, no, no, no. Why don't we keep the deck in a way at this point where nothing changes, right? So I spread the cards back out to show the card, flip it over, and then I simply go into the end, right? Now nothing has happened. Something happened. You know what I'm saying? Now I can cleanly just keep conversating and having a good time with it, and then when the moment is ready, I can magically produce their card out of thin air. And it's amazing. So that is the ambitious card that I just kind of did on the fly. And to talk about those moves, we want to simply talk about some really stellar stuff that you can get into, because you have like, so primary move. And by the way, if you're still watching, or if you're jumping in, don't forget I've got a giveaway going on and to subscribe, because it really does help out the channel. You just want to be a part of these things as we continue to grow. And I'm wheeling away from everything, so I just want to get back into the, make sure I'm not running away from you. Okay. This sequence includes, see if I can count them real quick. 5 moves, roughly 5 moves. And it includes some of the most powerful magic that you're ever going to find, which, what? Like, that's this, in terms of what it is that we do, you're telling me that this little ambitious card has, well, yeah, it has the DL, right? Okay. We'll speak code if people do hop on. I'm the only one watching right now, but hey, in the future. So it has the DL. It has I haven't really figured out what the name of the first move is. Well, it's a fancy DL. So that's kind of what brings us into the whole opening of it, and then that does the work for us. And then it goes into the flop shuffle. That's an easy one to pick out there. And that sequence is pretty quick. And then the final part is something I learned from Chris Ramsey years and years and years ago. Like, I'm literally still doing this move, Chris. Chris Ramsey. Chris Ramsey. Check him out. Jeez. What are we doing with ourselves, right? We have a card selected. And today that card's going to be the 4 of spades. Mind you, I don't need to see that card. But when it disappears into the pack and then reappears out of thin air, you're going to ask yourself, why wasn't that in frame? That's where you ask yourself, probably not. But either way, it was, I still use that. I still use that control all the time, and I break up those pieces or I put them together. Let's watch the replay here. See if it was in frame. Because I forget I've got to lift up a little bit. So card happening, all the fun stuff going on there, and I'm just watching my highlight reel. It was clean, but you can't see it because it's out of frame. And then I drop it, and of course it's down there. So you don't actually get to see the stellar magic that I just performed. But just know it was stellar. Unfortunately, just because my other, all the time, just camera problems. But yeah, you have to be more intentional about the way that you want to perform those different pieces. Because the first part is the introduction or the opener. Your opener still has to be flashy. It has to happen in front of their very eyes. It has to be visual. It has to be like, a wait, what happened? There has to be a double take there. They have to really catch them off guard with that opener. And then I go into the slop shuffle and I take a little bit of time and I show that things are getting mixed up. And then that way, when I reproduce that card, it introduces a little bit more magic and the semblance of control out of chaos It's a longer routine for that middle part is a little bit longer than the opening. And then the end is just boom, it's another flash and you'll miss it moment with this. Let's see if I can reproduce it again, but this time be in frame. So the objective is to have a card, okay? That card is going to be in the middle of the pack. Now, once you take that card and push it into the deck, I'll keep my hands up this time, okay? Then the card shall magically appear on top of the deck. That's the whole sequence out of context. That's how I learned it from Chris Ramsey. Chris Ramsey, just saying. He's phenomenal. Go check him out. He has so many projects going on, but his catalog of old stuff is what you want to be checking out. But that move is going to be something. It's been in my repertoire for 7, 8 years now. As soon as I learned it, it is something that I've carried with me every single day. That knowledge, and I love it, and it's just absolutely beautiful. So that's what I use at the end of that moment, and so that's kind of where you want to be with your moves. Is I could do that on the fly because I have cards in my hand so much, but I want to get to that point with the coins. You know what I'm saying? The coins. You take your ring, and you drop your coin out of the ring. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's where I kind of get into a mixed up position. Now, I'm really a big fan of the cross, coins across or anything like that. So I have a couple of different versions for the coin and ring. But here's my problem is how does it look? Because the sequence that I have has the ring in this hand. So how do I do it in this hand? So let's see how it will work. Will it work when I have the ring over here and I'm not used to this? So you put the ring into the hand and you put the coin on top of the hand. This is probably not going to work as well because of the way that the sequence works or the method behind it. So you kind of have to put yourself in a position that just doesn't really make sense to make this happen. And then that puts you into this moment where they're back. I'm not a big fan of that. It doesn't flow as nicely for me to have the ring first because the ring is the magic for me. That's again, like when I start off, howdy everybody, how are we doing? We have the ring. The ring is beautiful. It's a beautiful ring. You take this ring here, as simple as this, you simply stretch it out and it becomes a coin. Ha-cha, over to here, and of course it is a ring once again. And you can just play around with those concepts once you have that down. And then at some point you want to get to the point where the ring, and then you got to be careful because the coin will come out of the ring because you store it in the ring, however you want to play it off. And then I can go into my moves. Ring is here, coin is here, over to here it goes. Oh, let's do a little bit of adjustment so we don't drop that. And then, ha-cha, it comes out. Now here's the ending that I love. You bring the coin, you toss it down, and as you toss it up, the ring is back on the finger for a reset. As they look over to here, you've already got the coin in your control. Natural. It just happens. You can come back over and grab that again, or however you want to do it. I mean, obviously you don't need the coin to disappear yet because you haven't set anything else up. And yeah.
Awesome.
we bought it. We got to use the buttons. You know what I'm saying? But so that's really what we've been playing around with is this whole coin sequence and the idea of producing the coin as if by magic. Now, what I've been doing to introduce the coin is I didn't use the ring at first, even though I want the ring to be the opener. I want to be able to do my opening thing, and I try to do it with the coin in my hand already. It doesn't work. So if you take the ring and you do this nice little sequence, alternatively, you can toss it up and catch it on your finger. Now, if I did it with the other hand, you'd probably see the loophole. Yeah, you'd probably see the loophole. There it is, right? You just put it up here. And I love this moment because I did this in performance. Is I was like, you got to shake your hand. And if they're burning this hand, I'll just shake this hand until they until they look at this hand, and then I do the switch. Like, and it worked. I was like, well, okay then. And you don't really get that until you're performing and you see like what you have to do, where the misdirection can work for you, or to see where you can make it happen for you, or however you want to play it out. And for my character, I'm a funny man. I'm the magic man. I'm just having fun. So for me, it's like, look at me, like I'm waving, just vigorously shaking my hand, and it works. So for my character, anyway. But this idea of the magic being created at my fingertips is really nice. So instead of using the ring, what I would do is I just kind of, you want the coin to appear at your fingertips. And then I'll slide it behind their head. This is another thing, an idea that I got from Craig Petty. I would love his jumbo coin routine, but I can't find the jumbo coins. I can find some of them, but they're expensive. But I wanted a 3, 5, and 7, and I don't even know where my jumbo coin is at the moment. But I just have like a 3, I think. But so I love the jumbo coin routine. And so I just love this idea of putting my hand out behind their head as they're, because I'm projecting this space, right? I'm their buddy, so I'm kind of like going, not like hug, but you know what I mean. Like I'm just like bringing them into the magic, and I'm like, oh, I guess it came out of your ear instead, or if however you want to make that happen, it comes out of the other hand as they're watching this hand, and there's a moment of like, oh, it's over here, and so I'm just producing that from a moment where it's face to face at first. So when I initiate this move, oh, here we go. You're showing both hands cleanly, and then you're producing the coin, and that's a great way to open it, because that's just a nice little moment of magic to begin with. Then you can go into the rest of your routine, and this routine is probably not overly long for what it is. It gets longer and longer every time, and the routine that I just bought from Copeland's, I'm only using 2 parts of that, because I love the idea of introducing the ring at the open. So instead of producing the coin as if by magic by itself, which I could do if I wanted to do a standalone ring or a standalone coin routine, but by introducing the ring early on, I can make this happen in that way, where I can then produce the coin from the ring. And then what's nice about that is, well, they're looking at the coin like it's actually a real coin. There's nothing, then I can go into the whole ring routine by itself. So I like that. It's nice. So there's options there to keep the ring a part of it, and then once I get the coin back, then I can go into the whole transposition. I can go into the change of things. Let's see if I can perform this live for you here. I'll even try to stand up. So you take the coin over here, you take the ring over here, and give them a little bit of a shake, and they're just going to reappear where they started. It's pretty quick, and I did that a little bit faster than I needed to, but that was a weird angle for me to stand. So I'm just saying. Yeah, I don't know. Push the buttons. So yeah, so that's my coin routine, introducing the ring into it, which allows me to keep the things rolling progressively, with the ring being the introduction into that. And then I also have my routine with my wallet and my phone. So that is a nice little mentalism piece, and I enjoy that. So it can be as long or as short as you like, depending on your presentation style. And if you're doing a 5-minute set, then you want to keep everything nice and copacetic with your audience. But if you're doing a longer show where you've got 15 to 20 minutes, then you're going to want to make sure that you fill out that time. It's better to have more. And one of the best ways to do that, if you're performing, if you're out there in the wild, then you want to pre-package your routines to fit, like, get this, pro tip, Legos. You know, you want your routines to fit like Legos. You want them to fit together in a way that you can move them around if you need to. I mean, I've heard of musicians doing this for years. Like, you go to a concert, and sometimes you're not just getting like the one, like, they sing this song, then they sing this song, then they sing this song. Like, I've heard that they'll start this song, and the whole experience is them singing all of their music just like disjointed, and that seems trippy to me. But it's also provides a more interactive experience that you'll never get again because they're riffing, as I'm calling it, So you want your opening, like if you've got your opening acts, depending on what it is that you do, have a couple of them that you can switch out. I would recommend the rule of three. If you have 3 openers, 3 body tricks, and then 3 closers, then you can perform at least 50 shows that are not going to be the same. And that's just considering math. And it could be wrong, but that's what you want. You want to be able to take your routines apart and switch them around if need be, or if you're doing walk around, you don't want to perform the same thing to this table that you perform to this table. You just want to have different content and different material. Now, for me, 3 routines that I carry on me daily is my chameleon. I don't know. I don't have a name for it, but so I've got the wallet, which leads us to card to phone mentalism. So it takes us down this journey, which introduces a couple of different things, which are important. It's very important. It takes stuff out of my pockets, which gives me the ability to then use those pockets later on in the routine. So I'm doing my own setup while I'm doing it and trying to be one ahead on a utility principle. So that's something to keep in mind. Like, my phone in my pocket creates problems. Now, would I use my phone in a professional thing? Most likely what I would do is I'd probably get a device that is not a phone, or it can be a phone, but it would just be a second device that only has the magic stuff on it. I'm not getting phone calls on it. I'm not getting messages. All I'm using that for is for the prop, which then will let you use your phone to record your events and things like that. So it opens up your phone. Or if you're in the middle of a thing and you get a phone call, oh, hold on a second, maybe it's glitching your app, maybe it's messing with your trick, whatever it happens to be. You don't want to be in that position. So I carry that. And so the wallet and the phone are in my pocket every single day, regardless of what I'm doing. If I'm leaving the house, they're in my pocket. So I've got that. Great. Then I carry my pouch with my coins. So right now I'm carrying 3 coins in this pouch. Now here's the thing. I don't perform my tricks out of the pouch. I just keep these so that it keeps the coins together. So I do have a little bit of a setup thing, unlike the wallet and the phone, where I can just take them out of my pocket. Unfortunately, with the coins, I have to do a setup beforehand with that, which takes 2 seconds. So not that big of a deal, but also it makes you a little bit more mindful of how you're going into your routine. And then the last thing that I like to carry is the deck of cards. I was carrying these wallets for a while, the card wallets with packet tricks. So I still throw this in my pocket from time to time, and this is still one of my favorite packet tricks. And I kind of want some more of these cards, but I can't seem to get any of them. So the reason why I love these cards is they're 7-Eleven, but they have coupons in them. And so what I can do with these cards is kind of interesting. So it's a little bit of like a lottery game show, right? I've got 4 cards here. and then I give you 2 of them, and I keep 2 of them. So today is your lucky day. You're getting the candy. So we're just going to put it off screen here for a second. Okay, that leaves you with 3 cards. And then your next one is going to be, oh, you got the chips as well. I mean, that's super lucky for you that you're... Oh, sorry. Hold on. I mean, I took them. Sorry. But I did leave you with the Jokers. so that is my little routine that I like to do with those, that it's fun and it's quick and it happens in the hand because I can hand them those cards. And for those of you who are familiar with the old doctor, that's as much of a thing I'm going to give you for that. So I carry the packet tricks because if I'm not going to be somewhere where I want to use a lot of the cards and things like that, I can do the packet trick if I know there's going to be some interaction, because that's really where packet tricks come in handy, is when you've got some really nice close-up or there's some interaction, especially for that one, because it gets us interacting and involved immediately.
Awesome!
So, talked about the ambitious card. I can just riff with the cards all day. I've got the coins that I want to get to that point where I can just put routines together on the fly. And then I like to carry, I've got the wallet and the phone. And that's part of my EDC, what's in your pockets magic show, right? So the EDC show is actually going to be like a half-hour event that incorporates a whole kit, which is basically like when you're into bushcraft, EDC, and things like that, what are you carrying on your person for survival? Well, my idea is to build a EDC kit that also doubles as a magic show that I can perform and teach people about EDC, which is really nice. And it'll be a nice little thing. I do walk around, maybe even get invited to some knife shows. I don't know, fun times, right? And that's a project that I wanted to work on with my brother. So we're still in the mix of that. And then I still have my EDC What's in Your Pocket show, which is a 10-15 minute show on what I'm carrying. So I've got the ring. I'd like maybe do something with a necklace or something would be nice. Wearable magic or things that you're carrying that might not be survival gear, but are things that we keep in our pocket all the time. So I know that like Josh Norbito just did this pay with a playing card little skit thing, and that's beautiful magic right there. So you're gonna get some good reactions with that, and that's the kind of thing that you can do to just be magical in the wild. So yeah, in terms of the ambitious card routine, it's a great way to go. If you are interested, then go ahead and check out that giveaway. It's 12 cards, 12 decks. As long as you're not international, you have a chance to win 12 decks of cards. It's a whole brick. I'll send them to you. All you gotta do is just comment on the video to know that you want to enter, and that's good stuff. Now, for anybody who's watching this is wondering why I decided to wear my Lego shirt and have the green screen and have it all like, because I like color. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, there's getting a lot of noise upstairs. I wonder if I'm picking any of that up. Let me go ahead and see here. It does seem to pick up some of that background noise because I've got the kids right upstairs. So I think if I do this, I wonder if the filter will filter some of that out. That's the hope anyway. But yeah, so now, like, if you just want to comment, we can hang out, we can chat. There's some information in here that I think is beneficial to a lot of people, but, we're just here to have some fun, do some magic, and, yeah, see what's happening with the world. go ahead and take this phone down so I'm not using the Droid Cam anymore. Hmm. So I do have some packages in the mail, so that's fun. I want to give away from Murphy's Magic. That's a $500 box, so that's fun. I also have something coming from Copeland Coins, which will be a part of a giveaway, simply because it was a product I bought the download, but wasn't really looking for the product itself, so I don't need it. So I'll be giving that away. So there'll be some nice magic there, and yeah, just sharing the love. Copeland Coins is unfortunately has is in the process of closing, which to me is just it's devastating in a lot of ways. I love them. I love them. Yeah. Something else that's devastating in the community. John Rockabomber passed away. I mean, we got magicians passing away, and I mean these are legends in the in the community. And unfortunately, I didn't really have enough time to look at his collective works. So I guess now would be a time to really start to look, and see what I can learn. I'm sure that I've learned some of his stuff just through, looking, the basics of fundamentals of things that we're doing now. But really, what I advocate for is let's just do better. Let's practice more magic. Let's perform more things, and just kind of share in that community and really enjoy our time. It's really what's really important is just you know we live in a world where a lot of things are happening, bad things. So why don't we just do some good stuff? That's all we can really do. And doing magic for people is something that I enjoy. So I have fun with it. It also helps with my hyperfixation, which, let's be for real here. As far as ADHD goes, my limit is 2 years in something, and I've been doing magic for about 8. So I've been doing magic a while, and just to like look at stuff, like I just noticed the other day when I was watching Alexander the Great on Doug Khan's live event and the training and stuff, is that I had already been exposed to this individual like last year or the year before while I was doing research into busking. So it's great because somebody that I looked at briefly, learned, enjoyed, and then kind of moved on from, was then brought back to the light because of Doug Khan. So Doug Khan is just he's he's the professor. He's the guy right now. And according to the interwebs, he's got a following. So, it's fantastic. He's absolutely wonderful for the community and for everything that is happening, everything that is, going on. He's just he's probably one of my foundational pieces in my magic journey. So thank you, Doug. You're just and I haven't ordered from conjure.com lately. Um, so we'll get back to doing that here pretty soon. Coins. You got to know your coins. I just did I had said it in a longer video, but I posted a short where it was, kind of a little bit of a joke, but also for real. Like, if you're doing card magic or some other type of magic, and somebody's like, "Hey, can you do magic with a coin?" and you're like, and I made a face, and I was like, "No, I couldn't, I couldn't possibly." Well, that's the wrong answer. You got to be doing your coin work. You got to be practicing, because coin work, it really is going to put you in a position to be more finesseful with your other props because of the amount of attention to detail you have to pay and the moves that you have to do it really gets you thinking about performing magic on a small stage, which is your hands. Whereas with the cards, I mean, you can do all the flashy cardistry and you can have a good time with it, but the cards are covering up most of the hands. So if you're doing any sort of magical things and you want, say, that king to jump back to the top, you're going to get the 5 of diamonds instead. Yeah, the 5. The 5? No, the king. That's what we said, right? So, I don't know though. I just kind of try to take it one day at a time and just, try to learn magic, try to perform it for people and see where things go. I do have 3 likes on the live, so that's pretty cool. I do enjoy that. I've had 5 views, so thank you for that. I mean, this is amazing. Literally next month, I'm getting a Google check because of you guys watching my videos. I mean, what is better than that? So, you have a chance to win $100 giveaway. Not sure what that giveaway, what form it's going to take yet, but it's going to be monetarily. It's going to be $100. I'm going to reinvest into the channel. So you're going to have opportunities for more things. So, yeah, what if I push this button? Am I just sitting here not doing anything? I wonder what my playback ratio is right now. So I'm going to start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I'm going to start counting. 1, 2, 3. So we're about 20 seconds, and that's pretty standard, I think, for playback. So just keep that in mind if you are doing any lives, is that most of the time you're about 20 seconds ahead for what you're saying, for what they're seeing. So it's kind of important sometimes to make sure that you just keep that in mind, so that you're not moving on without waiting for certain things. But I think we're gonna see what are we at right now. We're at almost 50 minutes, and this has been fairly exciting. We've talked about different magic principles. We talked about what I carry. We talked about the giveaways. Mentioned Chris Ramsey a bunch of times because he's awesome. And yeah, opportunities to reinvest in the channel. If you are watching this and you are, able to, go ahead and click that super thanks, because I do want to talk about this. I keep saying this. We do card reviews here on the channel. And if you donate money to the channel through super thanks, joining membership, whatever it is, and you say, I want this to be used towards card reviews, here's what I want you to review. I will use that money directly to buy the deck of cards, review it, and then I will put it in a special box, and then we will determine, once we get enough traffic and, however we do it, we'll give those cards back to the community. So if I got 1 deck of cards in January and we gave it away at some point during the year, great. If I get 100 decks of cards throughout the year, I give away 100 decks of cards through different means because you're paying for them. So it really just depends on how well that goes because it scales, right? So if one person spends $10 on a deck of cards, I review it, and then I give it away. Okay, that's fine. You paid for it. All I just paid some shipping, and it's fine. Well, at the other end of side of that is if I've got 50, 100 people, if I got a bunch of people donating cards to the channel to review for these giveaways, it's going to keep scaling, and we're going to get more people involved, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger. And that's the business model here, is that find ways to give back to the community, because that's really what we're here for. We're doing entertainment, but what's the value of what I'm teaching you if you don't have a deck of cards in your hand? So check out that giveaway and all the other fun stuff that goes with the stuff on the channel. We're going to go ahead and send it off to the other guy for the sign off. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video. But of course, this is a magic channel, so we do want to end off with a little bit of magic. This is one of my absolute favorite magic tricks. It is the ring thing. Yes, the ring thing. Alternatively, if we were to do it with the other hand, you'd be able to see the loophole. Yeah, the loophole. Now all we got to do is just shake our hand a little bit. No, not this hand. This hand. Boom, baby. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really does help out the channel. And of course, click the recommended video just for you. Yes, just for you. And don't forget, stay positive, stay active, and stay awesome. And we'll see you in the next one.